We
I like
wanna-
this conversation. You ready to start?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go
Let's
ahead.
do it.
You go ahead.
You on?
Huh? Yeah.
Are you getting mic tone from me?
Yeah, you should. You should be on.
Okay.
This worked pretty
All right,
good.
this is DJ Steve-O from Revolution Radio. I'm here with Caveman, my co-host on Local Uprising Show. I'm also here with
Call me Ben.
Ben,
Yes.
and he's from Venrez. He's a movie producer and musician. Really cool dude. Really cool dude. So it's a sound. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. We're at Vamped, Counts Vamped, as you can tell. We're outside. It's I'll tell you, the cabbies out here are idiots.
Well, at least I got to see the shop, you know.
Right. Go down
They took us to Danny's shop.
Wow.
Which was cool. I mean, but I've seen it on television now.
Oh yeah.
But it was closed, which sucks too.
Oh yeah. They're all.
But we did end up here at Vamp with you.
Oh, that's cool. That's really good. So cheers.
Cheers, and thank you for the drink.
Mine's over there. I'm holding the camera.
Where you go?
Oh yeah, Caveman's my cameraman today. So. But yeah,
That's what cavemen are for, you know.
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have actually we got to get a promo together. Do Captain Caveman.
I like Captain Caveman.
So
Well, where are all the girls you clubbed over the head and dragged to your cave with? By the hair.
Club them now.
You keep them all prisoner for yourself, Caveman. All right.
share, damn it.
I'm single, man. I'm good with a girlfriend thing.
Oh, me
I'm
too.
happy with that.
Me too.
Yeah. 3 single guys sitting right there talking shit. There we go.
There we go. Soon to get to rock and roll.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, we'll get there.
Oh, yeah. So your band Venrez.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's your.
It's actually pronounced Venrez, by the way.
Venrez.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a combination of my first and last name.
Mm-hmm.
And so we go by Venrez and Venrez.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And I think it's kind of fun that people argue over how you pronounce it. It's created some sort of a buzz.
I
hated it. The band gave me the moniker up front. You know, they wanted that to be the name of the band, and I fought them tooth and nail, but I lost. And eventually, I accepted it. You know.
So who all is in the band?
Well, you know, the band primarily consists of Jason Womack and myself. Jason was one of the original members of Juliet Lewis and the Lips. He played bass with her.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That must have been interesting.
Yeah, he was.
He's
He's written some of her songs, and so it's been primarily Jason and I since August of 2009, and you know our original bass player was Melvin Brandon Jr., who left us to go back to the Dan Reed Network, and we brought in Michael Bradford. So we've. And then we had Alex Kane on guitar. So since 2014, we've become a 4-piece. And we just brought in a brand new drummer, Charles Ruggiero, whose father was one of the best jazz drummers to live. And Nico Darnice on bass. And we toured with Enough's Enough all over Europe and Scandinavia in March and April. And they asked us to come play with them here tonight at Vamp. So, you know, we're showing off our USA fans a different version of the band, 4-piece instead of 5 and a new rhythm section.
Nice.
Jason writes the music, plays guitar in Venrez, and produces all of our records, and I write the lyrics.
All right, that's good. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, I have your music. Actually, a friend of mine that's a really big fan of yours, she's gonna be here tonight. Rebecca Lynn. Rebecca, she'll be here tonight.
Yeah, she's a big fan.
Yeah.
And her and her girlfriend drove all the way to L.A. and saw us play at the Whiskey or something a few years ago.
Yeah.
And Rebecca's a great person. I love her very much.
Oh yeah, she is a really good person. But yeah, she turned me on your music.
Cool.
And stuff. She goes, here, check this
Awesome.
out. I'm like, okay.
I'll have to give her an extra kiss tonight when I see her.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
doing that.
I mean, this was.
It's nice when your fans do things like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Contact radio stations.
When they're pushing it on people, that's how you know they feel it.
Absolutely.
That's what
Well, she has a surprise because when she saw the original version, that was the 5-piece. So she's never seen this new 4-piece version.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Jason plays through 2 cabs and 2 heads in stereo, and that cat can make a guitar sound like 3 guitars. I mean,
wow.
You'll hear it later tonight when we play.
Yeah. I've seen that done before. You know, they've done different things, and guitar players make their guitars sound like a dual guitar, and it amazes me how they do that. You know,
he makes this one guitar sound like 3. You know, if you were on our website and looked at the reviews of our tour with Michael Schenker in the UK, you know, there's some great reviews of that tour, and some you know, one of the writers writing about that, and you'll hear it tonight. I call him the professor because, you know, he's just an absolute genius. He really is. I'm blessed and honored to be able to work with him.
How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, I mean, we were building a tiki bar. I had a penthouse out in Los Feliz by the Hollywood sign, and I have this big sun deck, and I have fellow singer-songwriter Tommy Joho Johnson was staying with me for a while. We decided to build a tiki bar out there. You know, the next thing I knew, all these guys were over there working under his command. But I didn't know that some of them are really famous musicians, like Michael Bradford, who was the bass player that came in after Melvin Brandon Jr. left, and did all our initial tours, and Jason Womack. And it was really pretty funny because Jason had most of the guys from Juliet had left the band, and they had a side project called Petty Cash. You may have heard of them. Petty Cash is a pretty famous band, and the majority of that band are the ex-Licks of Juliet Lewis and the Licks. And Todd and Kimball and Ed Davis on drums, who was our drummer for 7 years before we moved over to Charles Ruggiero, who you'll hear tonight. And so Jason is this musician. I didn't know who he was, you know. And it was really pretty funny. So Tommy took me to the Key Club. At that time, Steel Panther had a residency on Monday nights at midnight. And Petty Cash would go on in the room down below from 10 to 12. So we went to go see Petty Cash. Pretty big band. I mean, Pink would show up and sing with them. Avril Lavigne. You know, I mean, they do Tom. They do Petty and Johnny Cash covers. And so I see this show going on, and I hadn't really hooked up with Jason jamming yet. You know, we were talking about it because we had jammed. He pulled out a guitar one night, and I was singing with him. And so after the show, you know, they play the last song, and he's standing up there in front of the mic on guitar. You know, I walk up and I shake his hand. I said, "You can't work for me anymore." Not doing that. He was like all freaked out. Yeah. So he's like, he was over at my house. He's like, you know, you kind of freaked me out about that. I said, well, you're not building a tiki bar, brother. I said, what do you really want to do? And he said, I want to do music full time. I shook his hand and said, let's do it. And that was, you know, August of 2009. And you know, we started jamming and writing songs together. And we, you know, been together ever since. So it actually started as a hobby. You know, I'm a movie producer. I was producing film. And then we brought Ed Davis in from Juliet on drums. And we all started jamming. It got good pretty quick. And we booked a show at the Key Club, which is now a dance club owned by Beyonce and hubby. We played a show. There was a big promoter there, Fabio Pacino, whose partner is Avise Schlese in Italy. Tracy Gunn's version of LA Gun, with Jizzy Pearl from Love Hate on vocals, was doing a Euro UK tour. And he saw us at the Key Club, you know. So we played the show, and I mean, about a week later, I got a call, and he's like, would you like to play all these shows in Italy with LA Guns? And I said, sure, we'll go do it. And you know, next thing I knew, we were on the whole Euro UK tour. And I thought it would just be fun. I never thought anything about it. So we went in December 2010, and we went back and did the same tour, Europe and the UK with them. In July 2011, and Fuel called We did a massive first USA tour in January and February of 2012. We played the Indianapolis Village Super Bowl Village show a few days before the game for like 70,000 people.
Wow.
And a very massive 6-week tour. And then Alice Cooper called, and we toured that summer of 2012 with him. And Slash called, and we toured in July 2013 with him. And then Buck Cherry called, and we did a massive tour with them. And that band is really making a lot of noise now. Hardcore superstar from Sweden. And we did a 3-band tour, massive tour of Europe and the UK, December of 2013, and a couple of our tracks on our album at the time, which that release was called American Illusion, were charting top 10, throughout Europe, and we blew up. That's where all those likes on Facebook came from. I did not buy them. Okay, and that's pretty much been it. I mean, tonight is the first show in the United States we've played since the summer of 2013. Wow. When our last show of the Slash tour was here in Vegas at the House of Blues in Mandalay Bay. So it's only fitting that our first show in the USA since is in Las Vegas.
Well, there you go.
At Counts Vamped. With our brothers, Enough's Enough. So I'm very excited to be here.
That's really cool. I mean, I've been a fan of Enough's Enough since I was a kid. So.
Yeah, great band.
Really good. I mean, I've always liked them.
Well, you'll get a little surprise in that. I actually come out I think about the 5th song of their set is they covered Gene Genie.
Oh, nice.
And I actually come out guessing with them during that song, so you'll see that little surprise tonight. And for any of you in Vegas, come on out. You can see it live.
Come to Vamp. You know where we're at, people.
Oh yeah,
you can get here.
Hey, and to top it all off, it's a free show. So
it's a free show.
Can't beat it. Can't beat that.
You're gonna have Venrez, this modern epic alternative rock band, opening up the show, and then the wonderful Chicago-based band where Cheap Trick came from, Enough's Enough.
Yeah,
sold a lot of records. Fly High Michelle, all the great hits will be heard tonight, and you'll get to see me come out guessing the Gene Genie from the late David Bowie, and it's a highlight of the night when I come out and sing that with that band. I love being with them, Tori and Tony. What a great singer and guitar player Tony is, and Tori Softgren on lead guitar.
You're having fun, though. That's one thing. I mean, I figured you've been doing it since you were a kid, honestly. But you guys just...
the bottom line is, the first time I ever sang live, it was that show in early 2010.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, it came out on a Saturday night at 10:30 to a sold-out place, and
nobody booed you off stage or hit you?
No, we got a tour from it. I didn't know what to expect. The local fans dug it. The band's good. I'm not talking about myself, but I'm talking about the musicians on stage with me. Right. I was pretty green. Those guys were pros. Those guys had played for 20, 30,000 people so many times they can't even count. If I'd gone onto YouTube and really looked at who these guys were before, I probably would have been so intimidated by it that I would have fucking killed the whole thing and never got anywhere. So I guess the powers that be, God, whatever you want to call it,
right,
had me not do that. You know what I mean? Because, and Jason's been really good, about bringing me along. But, we're in our 8th year now. We're about to record our 7th LP, and the new guy is the bass player now, not... I was the new guy for a long time. But I'm not the new guy anymore.
Yeah. So what made you decide to pick up the guitar and start playing?
I picked up the guitar when I was 16 or 17 years old. I started playing clarinet when I was 9, and piano. But I don't play because... I do play, but I don't play with the band yet because we've been primarily direct support. With our set length time, there's really no time for me to grab an acoustic electric like Chris Cornell used to do.
Oh,
yeah, and let the band take a break and play 2 or 3. But I think, in the next year or two, we'll probably be moving more to headline status. You know, maybe when we're on stage for, 75 to 90 minutes and not 45 minutes, then maybe I'll come out with a guitar and do what Mick Jagger did to me and blow my fans' minds and have them say, oh, he can do that. Because I remember the first time I saw Mick Jagger come out with a guitar, like, what the hell's going on? But we're more like a Led Zeppelin-y kind of Aerosmith-y rock band. We go on field, every show's different. It depends on the energy that's going on stage.
Right.
With what's happening and much more like Aerosmith. I mean, you just don't see Steve Tyler grab a guitar. So I haven't done it yet, but I might at some point.
Man's is watching.
But it won't happen tonight.
Yeah.
I can assure you of that.
Well, we got one of our DJs is actually watching that, and Angie she's goes by DJ Fabulicious.
Fabulicious.
Really great gal. Really great gal. She's from the Boston area.
Okay.
So, but yeah, she's watching. So, hey, Angie.
Well, Aerosmith, definitely the best live rock band on earth today.
Oh, they are.
There's no one
Definitely.
close.
I got to see him getting a fist fight on stage. Like 2013. What was his name? Joe Perry was swinging around and hit him in the stomach with his guitar, and they just started kicking the shit out of each other. I was like, what the hell?
I see them every time they come around. I mean, they are, in my opinion, the best live raw rock band on earth, and I like raw rock. I mean, Muse is fabulous.
Yeah.
Although it's like hearing the record, and I mean, it's amazing how they are so spot on every night.
Right.
But I like bands like the Stones and Aerosmith, and the late Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's just raw, in your face, based on everything's changing. These other bands like U2, Muse, it doesn't really matter on the crowd or the energy or what's going on. They're delivering pretty much a spot on, virtually like you're listening to a record, but it's live. And I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's amazing to be able to do that. But I prefer the in-your-face raw shit, where every show's different.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, who's your biggest influence musically?
Well, see, a lot of people don't understand that I'm actually 62 years old. So,
Damn.
I was born in 1950.
I got more gray hair than you do.
Yeah.
And I'm 52.
So yeah,
You got 10 years on me, man.
I'm a well-preserved guy.
We're still rocking, man.
So, obviously I was really influenced by the singer-songwriters of the late 60s and the 70s bands. As lyrics, John Lennon and Bob Dylan and clearly Jim Morrison. And, as a front man, quite clearly, Jim Morrison and Mick Jagger. Now, Grace Slick, who's aging. I don't want to be on stage at 50. How can you be that old to be dancing around on stage? I mean, Mick Jagger's really an alien. I mean, at 72 years old to do what he does. And I don't think anybody's dancing around up there the way he does.
Well, and Keith Richards, too. He's got to be.
Absolutely. A long time ago, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I wasn't really quite sure. But Mick Jagger and Jim Morrison of the Doors, were huge influences on me as frontmen. Absolutely. And then Dylan, Morrison, and Lennon as lyricists. I try to write responsible lyrics, and I'm listening to a lot of stuff. I don't know if anybody's really writing the kind of responsible lyrics I think I am. I let it speak for itself.
Right.
I mean, Dylan's paid his dues, but he clearly could be writing a lot of stuff today like he did in the day. And Jason and I can do anything. We've written pop for some of the female pop stars and things like that.
You make good money for that, though, right?
Yeah, Sony ATV. We will sell out for the right price, but not with our project.
Right. Well, I think you got to believe in what you're doing to make it good.
Well, it's dark.
Right.
Venrez cerebral. And we certainly could have gone poppy in the direction of, Sugar Ray and those kind of guys. and probably cracked into commercial suit radio and made life a little easier, got to the top a little faster. But, we haven't, and we own everything, and we financed everything, and we've had full creative control. And there's no rules in rock and roll today, really.
Right.
There isn't. It doesn't matter how old you are, it's all about the music and the song. So we've stayed steady to the course, and I do write some science fiction songs and some happy songs, but most of it's pretty dark, and most of it's telling the truth about political oppression and blood for oil and things of that particular nature.
All that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's not doing it, so. And John Dylan, and John Lennon's not alive anymore. So I just refuse to write stupid shit for Venrez. If you want to give me a bunch of money to write stupid shit for Demi Lovato, I'll do it.
Well, the hell not. That gives you more time to do what you want to do with your music, right?
Yeah.
So that's bottom line right there. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you only knew some of the pop crap I've written. Not recorded, written.
Not recorded, but written.
So you're telling me it's one of them songs that you hear it and you hate it and you can't get it out of your damn head.
Well, I look at it this way. I mean, this pop stuff's so stupid to begin with. That when I first met with Sony ATV, they're like, well, you're like the opposite of the spectrum, we want smarter lyrics. I'm like, no problem, So I gave a song called Slip and Fall. And although it is stupid, it's smarter than most of what's been out there the last few years.
Yeah. Well, just tell me you didn't write Versace on the floor.
No Rico Suave either.
Good.
Oh, that was in your head.
Rico
Suave.
Now it's going to be stuck in my head.
Everybody knows that, right?
The original Benuto.
Yeah. And, so are you doing any more movies, or? You just
I have a 16-film contract with Christopher Coppola, Nicolas Cage's brother.
Oh, nice.
Their uncle is Francis Ford, and we made the first film we made was called Sacred Blood. It's about to be released. We did write the theme song to it. The music video is on YouTube. You can put Sacred Blood by Venrez, Venrez. And there's some footage from the movie. Christopher's son, Bailey Coppola, is in it. Spitting image of Nicolas Cage when he was young. Actually, much more handsome and touted as the new James Dean. We recently wrapped our second film called Torch, which is in post-production. And then with my ex-wife, Anna Biani, we made a film, a short film called G4, which is a big statement on God and love. And the dichotomy of yin and yang and the dark and the light side of everyone. A short film of 22 minutes. It was accepted recently to Dances with Film Festival, and world premiered on June 9th at the Chinese Theater in LA, and I'm licensing that. So I don't think I'll be making any more movies till late into next year. I have a new company called FACE, Foundation for a Clean Earth. We have a contract with ECO, Endowment for Clean Oceans, based in D.C. And we're raising a lot of dough to develop new technology to clean our oceans of these massive plastic debris fields. There's 9 or 10 of them floating around in our oceans. They're all in international waters, so no country's doing shit about it. And 2 of them are the size of the state of Texas in the South Pacific, actually. But people aren't really aware of it. Atolls that 3 years ago were pristine are covered in garbage, with over 3,500 pieces of plastic and garbage washing up on the shores daily. It's an epic problem. Whales are beaching and dying, cut open and finding hundreds of pounds of plastic products in their stomachs. Wow. So right now I'm pretty much concentrating on that, fundraising and the music. We're going to play the show tonight. We're playing the Wounded Warrior Festival at Strambler Park in Bakersfield. If you're in that area of California, you should come out. That's on September 16th. You can go to Venrez, Venrez, the THE band, BAND, venreztheband.com. Check the tour schedule. All the deets are there. It's on Saturday, September 16th. Will benefit our veterans who've been wounded in battle. And we'll be playing that. When we're done with that, we'll go in and record the new record, and we'll be on tour next year. We'll be touring next year. We're primarily, since November, December 2013, we tour overseas. You know, sorry, controlled suit corporate radio in this country would start playing new rock and roll. We might tour here again, but this doesn't make any sense. And over, you know, in the 60s, 70s, Europe was 20 years behind us. They're now 20 years ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll be looking to see. We're in talks with some different bands, and probably in February, March, April, we'll be back overseas again, and playing stuff off the last 4 records, along with some new songs from that record we're about to record.
Wow, that's really good. Well, I really do appreciate your time. I know you got your load in a sound check.
You know, I don't have to do any of it.
It's all the time for them, right?
I came here to interview with you. and left, you know, this beautiful suite they gave you at the Bellagio Hotel. Because I don't ever sound check, you know? Because Jason checked my mind. But I came here just so I could meet you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Cape Man, and do the interview. Or I'd be at the Bellagio.
Kicking back,
watching go have a steak dinner. So.
Watching the Keys at the pool, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll never tell.
There you go. Me neither. I won't either. The secret's safe with me.
Cool.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate your time.
Thanks for coming out and interviewing.
Thanks for the. I mean, I know it was kind of almost last minute type thing, but I saw you
Yeah,
guys
it
were
is,
coming.
man.
I'm
It's
like,
wrong with it, you know.
I had a chance to do it.
Well, I'm honored, and you know, I mean, I love to give back, and it's actually a real compliment to have someone like you and Cape Man wish to even interview us in the first place. So, it's
normally I'd be talking a lot more, but holding this camera's taking out of the concentration.
So your hand is connected to your mouth.
Yeah, baby.
Pretty much. Really.
See, speaking of,
Yeah, pretty much. He doesn't have his drinks, he can't spill it on himself.
let's pump it up after we sign out. Let's go with that.
Yeah, we do play local uprising show once first Saturday of every month, which we do be doing one tomorrow.
Awesome.
Interview a lot of local bands and stuff, and bring them out. Just rock and roll. I'm trying to get it all the time.
We're still live on Facebook. You guys, come out to Vamptide. It's a free show. It's free entry. You don't have to pay for anything. As far as seeing the show.
Except for what you drink.
Yeah, you got to pay for your drinks and your food. But you get Venrez live for 45 minutes and at least 60 to 75 minutes of Enough's Enough. And it's going to rule. So come on out and join the crowd tonight. 10 o'clock, be at the club.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Van, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it,
brother. And thank you for the drink.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right.
I got paid today. So
y'all rock and roll.
All right, thanks.
And don't like my Facebook fan page. I have too many likes on it. All right.